We must learn our limits. We are all something, but none of us are everything. Either Christianity is true or it's false. If you bet that it's true, and you believe in God and submit to Him, then if it is true, you've gained God, heaven, and everything else. If it's false, you've lost nothing, but you've had a good life marked by peace and the illusion that ultimately everything makes sense. If you bet that Christianity is not true, and it's false, you've lost nothing. But if you bet that it's false, and it turns out to be true, you've lost everything, and you get to spend eternity in hell. Once your soul has been enlarged by a truth, it can never return to its original size. Small minds are concerned with the extraordinary, great minds with the ordinary. Muhammad established a religion by putting his enemies to death. Jesus Christ, by commanding his followers to lay down their lives. Kind words do not cost much. They never blister the tongue or lips. They make other people good-natured. They also produce their own image on men's souls, and a beautiful image it is. Love knows no limit to its endurance, no end to its trust, no fading of its hope. It can outlast anything. Love still stands when all else has fallen. Belief is a wise wager, granted that faith cannot be proved. What harm will come to you if you gamble on its truth, and it proves false? If you gain all. If you lose nothing. Wager then, without hesitation, that he exists. Faith is different from proof. The latter is human. The former is a gift from God. It is the heart which perceives God and not the reason. That is what faith is. God perceived by the heart, not by the reason. It's not those who write the laws that have the greatest impact on society. It's those who write the songs. Men despise religion. They hate it and are afraid it may be true. The cure for this is first to show that religion is not contrary to reason, but worthy of reverence and respect. Next, make it attractive. Make good men wish it were true, and then show that it is. I rather live as if God exists to find out that he doesn't than live as if he doesn't exist to find out he does. Cold words freeze people, and hot words scorch them, and bitter words scorch them, and bitter words make them bitter, and wrathful words make them wrathful. Kind words also produce their own image on men's souls, and a beautiful image it is. They smooth and quiet and comfort the hearer. Distraction is the only thing that consoles us for our miseries, yet it is itself the greatest of our miseries. Happiness is neither within us nor without us. It is in the union of ourselves with God. I bring you the gift of these 4 words. I believe in you. Clarity of mind means clarity of passion, too. This is why a great and clear mind loves ardently and sees distinctly what it loves. Apart from Jesus Christ, we do not know what is our life, nor our death, nor ourselves. 1. Half of the ills of life come because men are unwilling to sit down quietly for 30 minutes to think through all the possible consequences of their acts. Human life is thus only an endless illusion. Men deceive and flatter each other. No one speaks of us in our presence as he does when we are gone. Society is based on mutual hypocrisy. Nothing is so intolerable to man as being fully at rest, without a passion, without business, without a passion, without business, without entertainment, without care. We should seek the truth without hesitation, and if we refuse it, we show that we value the esteem of men more than the search for truth. There is a God-shaped vacuum in the heart of every man which cannot be filled by any created thing, but only by God, the Creator made known through Jesus. In faith, there is enough light for those who want to believe and enough shadows to blind those who don't. Not only do we know God by Jesus Christ alone, but we know ourselves only by Jesus Christ. We know life and death only through Jesus Christ. Apart from Jesus Christ, we do not know what is our life, nor our death, nor ourselves. Human beings must be known to be loved, but divine beings must be loved to be known. The strength of a man's virtue should not be measured by his special exertions, but by his habitual acts. If God exists, not seeking God must be the gravest error imaginable. If one decides to sincerely seek for God and doesn't find God, the lost effort is negligible in comparison to what is at risk in not seeking God in the first place. Man is equally incapable of seeing the nothingness from which he emerges and the infinity in which he is engulfed. We are not satisfied with real life. We want to live some imaginary life in the eyes of other people and to seem different from what we actually are. Let each of us examine his thoughts. He will find them wholly concerned with the past or the future. We almost never think of the present, and if we do think of it, it is only to see what light it throws on our plans for the future. The present is never our end. The past and the present are our means. The future alone our end. Thus, we never actually live, but hope to live. And since we are always planning how to be happy, it is inevitable that we should never be so. Mankind suffers from two excesses: to exclude reason and to live by nothing but reason. Man is obviously made for thinking. Therein lies all his dignity and his merit, and his whole duty is to think as he ought. If God does not exist, one loses nothing by believing in him anyway, while if he does exist, one stands to lose everything by not believing. We are only falsehood, duplicity, contradiction. We both conceal and disguise ourselves from ourselves. You always admire what you really don't understand. It is dangerous to explain too clearly to man how like he is to the animals without pointing out his greatness. It is also dangerous to make too much of his greatness without his vileness. It is still more dangerous to leave him in ignorance of both, but it is most valuable to represent both to him. Man must not be allowed to believe that he is equal either to animals, or to unaware of either. But he must know both. There is enough light for those who only desire to see, and enough obscurity for those who have a contrary disposition. We know that there is an infinite, and we know not its nature. As we know it to be false, that numbers are finite, it is therefore true that there is a numerical infinity, but we know not of what kind. It is untrue that it is even, untrue that it is odd, for the addition of a unit does not change its nature. Yet it is a number, and every number is odd, or even. This certainly holds of every finite number. Thus, we may quite well know that there is a God without knowing what he is. Chess is the gymnasium of the mind.